Consider the lobster. It is a soft, mushy animal that lives inside a rigid, hard shell. That shell is its protection. It keeps the lobster safe from predators. It is comfortable, it is secure, but there is a problem. The lobster grows, but the shell does not. As the lobster gets bigger, that protective shell becomes a prison. It starts to squeeze. It becomes tight. It becomes uncomfortable. The lobster feels immense pressure. It is suffering inside its own safety. If the lobster does not shed that shell, it will die. It will be suffocated by its own comfort. So, the lobster does something terrifying. It goes to a dark place under a rock. It cracks open its own shell, and for a short time, it is naked. It is pink, soft, and completely vulnerable. A fish could eat it in one bite, but this vulnerability is the only way it can grow. It forms a new, bigger shell, and then it repeats the process. This is the biological rule. Discomfort is the signal for growth. I look at modern society, and I see millions of people who are suffocating. But they're not suffocating from risk, they are suffocating from safety. We stay in the job we hate because it pays the bills. We stay in the city that drains us because it is familiar. We keep the habits that make us sick because they are easy. We feel the pressure, the anxiety, the boredom, the stuck feeling. But instead of shedding the shell, we take a pill, we watch Netflix, we buy a new phone. We try to numb the pressure. We are lobsters trying to live in a shell that is too small for our souls. You are not anxious because you have a mental disorder. You are anxious because you are ready to grow and you are refusing to molt. You are fighting nature. I spent 35 years observing people in the corporate world. I saw brilliant men and women who stopped growing at age 30 and waited until 60 to retire. They died at 30, but we didn't bury them until 70. I remember a colleague named Thomas. Thomas was a sharper mind than I ever was. At 25, he was a superstar. He got a good middle management job in a stable bank. It was safe. The salary was decent. The chair was comfortable. At 30, he complained that he was bored. At 40, he complained that he was underappreciated. At 50, he was bitter. He hated the bank. He hated his boss. He hated the commute. But he never left. He would say to me, "Anwar, I can't leave. I have the pension. I have the seniority. It's too risky out there." Thomas was protecting his shell. He thought safety was the goal. But his safety had turned into a coffin. His soul had grown, but his environment had not. And the pressure had turned him into a cynical, angry man. He didn't realize that in nature, stability is not the goal. Adaptation is the goal. Nassim Taleb calls this anti-fragility. The glass cup is fragile. If you stress it, it breaks. A muscle isn't. If you stress it, it grows stronger. Humans are not glass cups. We are muscles. We need resistance. The ancient philosophers understood this better than we do. They had a technical term for this pressure. Take Aidid Bala. In modern language, we translate Bala as tragedy or affliction. But the root meaning is closer to a test or a trial that reveals what is inside. Al-Ghazali taught that Bala is not a punishment. It is a necessary friction, just as a seed must crack open its shell in the dark, cold dirt to become a tree. A human being must undergo pressure to unlock their potential. We try to build lives of pure, pure comfort. We want the air conditioning perfect, the food delivered instantly, to Wi-Fi fast. We have removed all friction from our lives. And the result? We are weaker than our grandfathers. We fall apart at the slightest inconvenience. We have traded our strength for comfort. We have become the lobster that refuses to molt, slowly dying inside a perfect, safe shell. The pain you feel, the frustration with your finances, the restlessness in your career is not your enemy. It is the universe telling you that your shell is too tight. It is time to go under the rock. So, how do we shed the shell without getting eaten? How do we embrace Bala the test safely? We need a protocol for a controlled discomfort. Here are 3 steps to break your own shell. Step 1. The 10% risk rule. You do not need to quit your job tomorrow and become a monk. That is reckless. Instead, Allocate 10% of your resources, time or money, to something that makes you uncomfortable. If you are a corporate accountant, spend 10% of your time learning public speaking. If you are a conservative saver, take 10% of your portfolio and invest in a high-risk learning asset, like a business course or a volatile market. You are introducing a small crack in the shell. You are telling your brain, I am willing to be vulnerable here. This keeps you alive. Step 2. Rename the pain when you feel anxiety or pressure. Stop calling it stress. Rename it molting. This is a cognitive reframing technique. I am not stressed about this new project. I am molten. I am not afraid of this public speech. I am molting. The sensation is the same, but the meaning changes. One is a threat. The other is a process of expansion. The lobster does not hate the pressure, it respects Italiano. Step 3. Seek the good friction. Modern life removes friction. You must add it back. Take the stairs, not the elevator. Read the hard book, not the easy blog post. Have the difficult conversation with your spouse, not the silent treatment. Every time you choose the harder path, you are training your anti-fragility muscle. You are signaling to nature that you are ready for the bigger shell. The closing thought: a ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. A lobster in a steel box is safe, but it will never grow. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for a stronger back. Do not fear the time under the rock. It is dark, yes, but it is where the new you is made. Move your mind first. The rest of your life follows. The next step now, once you decide to leave your comfort zone, you will face a new enemy. It is not fear. It is the need to show off your new success. You will want to signal to everyone that you are making it. But this is a trap. To survive the open ocean, you need to understand the peacock trap. If you want to know why trying to look successful is the fastest way to become a failure, watch this video next. I explain the biology of the handicap principle right here.